4 o'clock, firefighters battling wildfires across Oregon are getting some help from hundreds of miles away. There was a call for help made, and Utah is answering the call. 13 local fire departments are making the long drive to Oregon to help out with those wildfires that have already burnt nearly 2 million acres in the state. The Big Grass Fire has burnt over 300,000 acres alone, and it's forcing locals from their homes. This happens quite frequently, but here's the question. How does the state decide who goes while making sure that Utah is still protected? 2 task forces are joining the wildfire response out in Oregon. The deployment is part of the national mutual aid system that allows states to share emergency resources in a time of need. Angela Lang with the Utah Division of Emergency Management told me a little bit earlier today how the crews are selected, who covers their shifts back here at home, and what happens if Utah suddenly needs them back.
And how does it work in terms of which agencies here in Utah get the call? Is it a lottery? Do they raise their hand? Is it a list and they're just next on the list? How does that work?
Great question. So we do at the beginning of wildfire season, we ask each agency that's interested in being part of our EMAC program to go ahead and register. Once they register, we develop a roster so that way it's equitable across all local fire agencies. And so when we do get the call, it's going through the roster, confirming their availability, and putting together the teams to deploy.
Okay, so they're on the roster, and then is it they raise their hand, or is it sort of like a chronological list order or on call? And if they're on call, they're going?
They update their availability weekly to us. So based on the availability that we have, we start going through that list and saying, hey, you list that you're available. Are you indeed still available? Here's this deployment, the details. Are you willing to support? And then we coordinate with forestry, fire, and state lands with the Utah Department of Natural Resources to ensure that we're not deploying any resources at a detriment to the state of Utah, especially with our own current wildfire situation.
So really, we got to take care of our own first before we're going to go help others. Is that what you're saying? We got to make sure that we have enough resources here first.
Yes, of course. In Utah, we can always recall our resources as part of our agreement with other states. Fortunately, here in Utah, we've been able to take care of our own while helping others, which I think speaks very highly to our capabilities here.
Yeah, absolutely. So of the 13 agencies that left, is that all the agencies that applied to be part of this group this year, or are there others? So I guess, did we send a crew from everyone that's part of this group?
We did not. I don't have an exact number of how many agencies are participating, but I believe it's usually more than 13.
All right, so back here at home, fire crews continue to monitor multiple wildfires across the state here. There is some good news. The state's largest wildfire, that Babylon fire, is 95% contained. It has burnt well over 100,000 acres, though. According to Utah Fire Info, the state has seen more than 700 wildfires just this season, more than half of those human-caused. And over the past several weeks, we have taken an in-depth look at a lot of different topics, including firefights across the state. If you'd like to go back and watch those reports, you can find them. They live in perpetuity over on our KUTV YouTube page. Just scan that QR code that you see right there on your screen.